Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Gina Carano isn't as canceled as people hoped. She has announced that she is doing 2 conventions in the spring and summer, and it seems to be that she's already made arrangements to do other comic book conventions based on her tweets. Twitter is not happy.
Well, what is Twitter happy?
Twitter is really not happy. Twitter, who has been playing armchair quarterback with pop culture for the last 5 years, is trying very hard to get MegaCon Orlando and Fan Expo Dallas to drop Gina Carano.
Twitter, who was behind her getting, removed from Star Wars to begin with.
Yes, yeah, and they tried with Rosario Dawson, and they tried with some other people, and they were successful in, for the most part, getting Vic Mignogna, voice actor Vic Mignogna, kicked from a bunch of conventions. And I think they're going to try the same tactics with Gina Carano. But will the showrunners listen, or will they just say, hey, you know what, if you don't like her, don't go to her table?
But a lot of these people weren't going to come to these cons anyway.
No, a lot of the people that are tweeting at them are not even from Florida.
My personal favorite, which we'll probably see in the tweets, is this one person having a meltdown because she was going to wear her Cara Dune cosplay.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
And I was like, I won't do it if she's there. I'm like, wait, I want to cosplay the character she plays, but I'm not going to do it if she's there. I'm not going to come if she's there. I'm like, wait, do you not see the hypocrisy here?
This is just like the Harry Potter situation. Like, I love Harry Potter. If only J.K. Rowling didn't get paid every time I supported Harry Potter. Yeah. I'm sorry, this is the way it works. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. Guys, over 261,000 subs. Yay! Almost 262. We're almost at 262. Hit the subscribe button.
Make sure you're still subscribed.
Yeah, make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube likes to unsubscribe people. Saw this yesterday. It was floating around Twitter that both MegaCon Orlando and Fan Expo Dallas are bringing Gina Carano in. Now, to be fair, given her conservative-ish views, Florida and Texas are a pretty safe bet to bring Gina Carano in. It's not like they're bringing her to Seattle or Portland or New York or something like that.
Where all the Twitter people that yell the most are probably from.
Right. Yeah, most of the people complaining, not all of them. There were actually some people I was surprised that they were dogpiling on this situation, but most of them are actually out of state, so it doesn't affect them anyway. And my feeling on that is, look, there are some comic book creators and some other industry professionals that I really, really, really don't like. That being said, I can't tell a showrunner not to bring them in.
Nor would you.
No, nor would I. It's like, look, they have a right to make a living. I might not like them. I might not like their hot takes, but I just won't go to their table. I won't talk to them. I'll avoid them. What's the big deal?
With this, it was the exact same thing you'd think it would be. Two being, she's a homophobe or transphobe. Yes. She's a transphobe because of the pronouns in her bio thing, which I want to reiterate again. What happened with that was she put a very nice statement out saying she understood the reason she wasn't going to do it, but she was completely behind those who wanted, who were trans or who wanted to put their pronouns in their bio because she's anti-bullying. To which she got called all kinds of horrific names. I just love it. The extremists demand the moon when you tell them no. They demand it for diversity and inclusion. You tell them no, and then they start using the most bigoted speech ever. Like, they use the slang terms that I would never utter to call people names that don't go along with what they want. So they're not against call about slang terms and shit like that, as long as they're the ones using them. We saw them attack her, to which she put that, was it bop, beep, bop, whatever.
Beep, bop, boop.
Or whatever it was. And then they're like, oh, she's anti-trans. No, that's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
Or they go on about the Holocaust comment. Again, one, it was historically accurate. Two, she never said which party she was referring to. She was just saying people in general. And three, Pedro Pascal put up stuff that was just as bad, if not worse, actually worse, because he flat out said it. And that was okay.
Yeah, and I think what gets a lot of people, like myself included, like, I might not agree with everything Gina Carano says, right? But what gets me is, how come she got terminated and she's persona non grata at Lucasfilm, but Pedro Pascal, who had his, left-wing hot takes, and a lot of them were incorrect, he's allowed to continue working.
And he didn't stop talking either.
No, he didn't stop talking. Like, look, if Disney was even-handed and said, we're apolitical, take the politics out of your social media, we don't want to hear your hot takes about politics on either side of the aisle, just promote your movies and your TV shows, that would be fine. But again, we see the double standard, and that's what gets a lot of people.
And they loved Gina Carano. They loved Cara Dune until she didn't give them what they wanted. And then they turned around and did everything they could to get her canceled.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, Twitter loves strong women until they're disagreeable.
Right.
And
they're pissed that she seems to lean, she was on the right.
Yeah.
And they don't like that.
Nope.
They're mad about her vaccine comments, which is, funny considering how everything that happened with the vaccine recently and what's come out.
You're not allowed to say that.
I don't care. It's the truth. They had how many pages of documentation on this shit.
You're not allowed to say that.
And I'm somebody who took the vaccine. So, I'm not like, oh, you're anti-vax. No, I took the vaccine. I'm just saying, there's a balanced way to handle things. And so, of course, those are the things they're clinging on to with, desperation to get her canceled for.
Yeah, so we'll go to some of the comments here. I had some I cherry-picked last night. She put up that she was coming. And I'm going to be honest. I think she's going to have a lot of people, especially Florida and Texas. Again, they are conservative states. In case you missed the memo, Florida is pretty conservative. But I think she's going to have a lot of people there for her. A lot of people here's the thing. A lot of people don't even know any of this stuff is going on. They're like, oh, hey, they'll be, Mandalorian season 3 will come out and they'll be like, oh, where's that chick that was in there? Oh, okay, whatever.
Well, when people ask, like, well, where's your proof of this? They don't answer. They just say what they've been told. And then when people say, okay, well, show me where she said that.
Yeah.
They don't answer because they can't.
Remove her from the lineup. Interesting choice. I wonder how much it costs to book someone sure to piss off a majority of your attendees.
I don't think so.
In Florida? Are you sure about that? I don't think she's going to piss off the majority of attendees in Florida. The 1% of the U.S. population that uses Twitter. That's majority. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you're correct.
And we've been saying that, and these companies, Disney included, need to understand Twitter is not the real world. Twitter is not indicative of the world at large. It is a subsection of a subsection of a subsection of some of the loudest, most obnoxious voices on the internet. And normal people don't use Twitter.
It's toxic. People stay away from it.
Yeah, they stay away from it. Or they're completely unaware that Twitter is a thing. Twitter's basically for Tumblr refugees, media personalities, entertainment people, companies to make announcements or whatever. But I noticed a lot of companies are pulling back from Twitter because every time they say something, they get dogpiled.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't say enough, or you didn't say what I think you should say. Dr. Disney, I wouldn't be surprised if those Star Wars Legends bow out because of her booking. What Star Wars Legends? The other guests announced with her?
Some of them have actually stood up for her.
I was going to say, let's look at those people that are announced with her. Giancarlo Esposito said that she was one of his favorite people to work with.
Yeah.
Katie Sackhoff had made comments, in Gina Carano's defense, saying that she was a very nice person. I can't see Ashley Eckstein pulling out either.
Ashley Eckstein's pretty, from what my own personal experience, we've seen her at events and stuff, she seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
She seems okay.
I can't see any of these people pulling out of this event because they're going to pull out because of her. I'm like, no, they're not. They said nice things about her, Dr. Disney. If you actually did your damn job, you'd know that.
This one's surprising. Now, I don't really pay that much attention to Dr. Disney.
No one does. That's a problem for him.
As much as I used to. I used to go to his website all the time, but he not only made this comment, but he actually retweeted it and made sure he tagged in MegaCon Orlando to talk about how problematic she is. I'm like, what a douchebag.
I mean, dude wasn't getting enough views already. Now people are going to be like, okay, no.
Dr. Disney, not good. Horrible, untalented human beings on the schedule. I'd tag her to let her know this shouldn't happen, but she blocked me long. I can't imagine why.
He's just mad because they said untalented human beings and they didn't invite him.
God. Do you pay guests with the admission cost? Because I don't want any of my money to go to her. MegaCon, do better. Good to know never to go to MegaCon. Ouch, who thought this was a good idea?
And for all these people, there's a bunch of people saying that they're coming.
Yeah, there were. There were a lot of people saying that they're coming. And, again, it is, if you're going to bring her in and she leans right, Florida and Texas aren't going to push back that hard. They're going to be like, oh, hell yeah, It's Florida and Texas. Now, again, Boston would be a totally different thing.
Okay, I love this. MegaCon supports Nazis. Okay, Melissa, in what way is she a Nazi? What did she say that was a Nazi? She made a statement. She made a statement about the Holocaust, which was a historically accurate statement. It hurting your feelings, Melissa, doesn't make it untrue. She never said Democrats or Republicans. She said people turning against each other. It can be argued even on places like Twitter. It didn't have to be about Republicans and Democrats. And you all jumped on that. And so you're full of shit. Provide proof that that's true, Melissa, other than, oh, she voted the way I don't like. And she put up a historically accurate comment that made me feel bad. Now, the anti-vax thing, I can get why people are saying that because she was making comments along that line.
But, I mean, that goes by the venue. Some venues, I mean, look, even here in Pennsylvania, it's a mixed bag. Like, I know Teco, you have to have proof of vaccination and you have to wear a mask to go to Teco. But you go to, like, Steel City Con, and you go to even last year, Sci-Fi Valley Con, you didn't need proof of vaccination.
No.
Now, and it depended on the guests, too, because some of the celebrity guests they had there, some of them wore masks and had, like face shields up or whatever, and they wouldn't, come next to you. Other ones were okay with you. Actually, well, I don't want to put a target on this celebrity, so I'm not going to say who it was, but one celebrity that my kids went to go see, they were actually staying away from that celebrity. And that celebrity came up to them and actually hugged them because they weren't sure if they were.
They didn't want to put her in a position that made her feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And that's just it. The thing is, like, this anti-vax rhetoric. Okay, what part of anti-vax rhetoric? They're rolling back mandates all over the place because, well, I don't have to go into detail. Just look around and what's going on with the vaccine reports and stuff. They start out as 97% effective, and what's it down to now? I mean, clearly they don't work as well as they originally said. So, I don't always agree with Gina Carano's statements on vaccines or different things, but I think she's allowed to make them. That's up to her. It's her choice. But this whole thing is stupid. And of course, they've anti-trans tweets. What anti-trans tweets? Not putting your pronouns in your bio because you don't want to is not an anti-trans tweet.
As you have pointed out many times, a lot of Lucasfilm employees don't have their pronouns in their bio.
I guess you're going to have to cancel every Lucasfilm employee ever or celebrity ever that does not have pronouns in their bio. Because at the end of the day, what happened was they kept demanding she do it. She said politely, I don't want to do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it, but I respect it. If you want to do it, I'm all supportive of you. And to which they called her names and harassed her for weeks until she finally did that bop, beep, boop, or whatever she put up. And then people were like, oh my God, you're making fun of trans people. She was just saying because they were all robotic coming at her with the same comments over and over again like robots.
Yeah, and you're proving her correct again. I mean, Twitter, I knew this was going to happen. I'm like, oh, they announced Gina Carano's doing conventions. These people believe that, if they disagree with you, that you need to be homeless in a cardboard box somewhere, and then that's not good enough. They're going to come over to that cardboard box and piss on it and light it on fire.
Well, they have to light it on fire. Then they won't even piss on it to put it out. Because you have to just completely go away forever because they said so. Because a friend of a friend of a friend told them something.
I agree with this. Why is everyone being so mean about it? You don't like her? Don't go see her. Let others have fun. You don't have to be trolls about it. I mean, hell, there are so many celebrities now that I'm familiar with their social media presences that I would not pay to go see at this point.
Kevin Smith's going to MegaCon, and I'm not saying that everybody should go. I told people go say hello to him. I'm not saying you don't go to MegaCon because Kevin Smith's there, even though he's a dick to us. Not at all. Like, that's stupid. If Kevin Smith wants to do MegaCon, Kevin Smith can do it. I mean, by all means, it's up to him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, that's how it is, and especially in the convention scene, like. They even ask you if you do San Diego Comic-Con and you apply for a table at San Diego Comic-Con. They're like, is there anybody you don't like so we don't put you next? Because you're going to have adversaries and you're going to have people that you have problems with, you have a beef with, and they try to keep you apart. No, I don't want to do a panel with that person because we have a beef and whatever. Okay, that's fine.
I like this. Replying to MegaCon, Pedro Pascal. He's just mad because, he didn't get to put his Holocaust comments up. In regards to it. Because he had comments himself up, and that was okay because it was him.
Yikes on bikes. Oh my God, these can't be real people. Are these real people? Real people don't
So
talk
now,
like
are they going to try to take the payment processors away and all that shit they try with other conventions?
I don't know. MegaCon and Fan Expo Dallas, I haven't looked at the comments on Fan Expo Dallas yet. They are run by a massive company, and they run like all the Fan Expo events and stuff. Like, it's not like the con that...
You're not going to be able to bully them off like you can other little cons.
Vic Mignogna, they bullied other cons because that was like their only con or whatever that they did, and they couldn't take the hit. The company that runs these conventions is some big like telecommunications company or whatever, and they've got like so many divisions. The con thing is just like gravy to them. Like, I don't think they give a shit.
At this point, they would walk it back. I think they're going to face more backlash than they faced, announcing her. And I love that. The people that are on there, that are legends, won't stand for her. And it's like, they all said that she was nice. They liked her.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude? You don't know what you're talking about.
Haven't heard a single person say they had a bad experience working with her on anything. I mean, none of that's come out that I'm aware of.
I mean, if I honestly thought that she deserved the hate she got, and she did the things they said she did, then I would be like, okay, yeah, she said, but she didn't say the things that they keep saying she said. And that's what makes me mad. It's not because I'm not even Republican. I don't agree with, I honestly do not agree with everything she says. There are some things that she says I'm just like, no, I don't think so. But I thought she was a good character, and I liked her, and I thought she seems like a genuinely sweet person. And I just don't think it's fair because they misconstrue some things that she said, that she gets all this shit because how the people on Twitter are pissed she doesn't vote the way they want them to. I don't vote the way they want. I don't vote the way Gina Carano votes either. But you know what? I don't want her canceled over it.
No. I mean, that's ridiculous. And at the end of the day, this is why we get so angry, because pop culture entertainment was supposed to be a ceasefire zone. We were supposed to come together and over TV shows or movies or comic books, and it's become another blunt instrument to beat each other up with. And why at the end of the day can't we, like The Mandalorian is one of the few things out there that Disney has done with Star Wars that has actually unified everybody. Like everybody's like, yeah, it's a pretty good. I mean, like Pedro Pascal, I think his opinions are dog shit. I think he's got some really stupid opinions.
Yeah, he pushes it too far the other way.
But I still watch the show because,
And if he wants to go to con, I'm not going to try to say, well, you shouldn't be able to go because, you called people that I know that voted a certain way names, I'm like, that's stupid.
Marina Sirtis, she's been saying some really dumb stuff. She's been at cons before, we've done, and she said some really dumb shit too on social media. Will Wheaton said some dumb shit on social media.
Show me a celebrity who hasn't said dumb shit.
They all say dumb shit. They get bored between conventions and shows.
But it's only the ones that don't say the stuff that Twitter, and remember, Twitter is a certain subsect run by a vocal minority, and if you piss them off. And then I think Hollywood's actually starting to catch on. They're not their friend.
No, Twitter's not your friend. Twitter is a very, I would talk, we're talking like a percentage of a percent of the population, the most extreme voices. Unfortunately, some of those voices have large microphones, megaphones, because they work in the media, But
so do we.
Yeah. So you're amplifying these crazies, and these companies are getting a very distorted impression of what the general public thinks. At the end of the day, look at the lines, look at the sales, look at the viewing numbers. That's where the general public is.
Here you go. Go tell Fan Expo Dallas and MegaCon on Twitter that you're thrilled she's coming. I mean, half these people weren't going to go anyway. They don't even live in the area.
Yeah.
So just, fine. If everybody can say they're not coming to a con they weren't going to go to, everybody and their brother can give them good positive feedback about bringing her in. But yeah, but go back to their comment. This here. They're talking about they don't even follow their code of conduct, inclusivity and respect. Where? In what way?
Actually, they do. Safety, security, and an open, inclusive, respectful environment with zero tolerance for misbehavior.
Well, that would include everybody, not just the people that vote the way you want or have opinions that line with yours.
I mean, if she shows up and she just signs autographs and takes pictures and she doesn't go off the rails about, her political beliefs at the show, what's the problem?
I love this. We don't tolerate violence and mistreatment of any type or harassment towards staff, exhibitors, or guests.
Yes.
You have these people harassing MegaCon about her being there. You're violating the terms of service, Alexandria the Red.
You are literally
Reds that way.
You are literally harassing the show promoter over a guest.
And then using their code of conduct.
Like, oh God, this is ridiculous. Imagine waiting in line for 3 hours minimum and almost certainly, wait, I thought they said nobody's going to come see her. Imagine waiting in line for 3 hours minimum and almost certainly catching COVID to meet Gina fucking Carano.
Well, no one told you to come. Dredge didn't fill. Hey, I was at cons back when COVID was worse, and we didn't get it.
No. There's one con I will not be wearing my Cara Dune costume.
Yeah, this one.
Why are you wearing a Cara Dune costume at all if you hate her that much?
This was so funny.
If you hate her that much, why are you wearing a Cara Dune costume?
Bad enough she makes it feel a bit wrong to wear my best costume achievement at all. I'm certainly not going to wear it when she's physically present. Yeah, because, you look like a dipshit. Looks too much like I support her. You made a Cara Dune costume and you're wearing it to conventions. Just wearing it to conventions she's not at makes it look like you support her.
What the fuck? Why are these people are mental? They don't even God, this has to be a parody. These cannot be real people. Pass and no thanks, says the man with the chartreuse hair. Can't imagine why. Looking at all the inclusivity and commitment to diversity in the comments is worth it. Glad people are accepting diverse viewpoints and people. Yeah, they're not. Yikes. This ain't it. Yikes. Yikes. Oh my God, yikes. A lot of people excited though.
She broke some of my weird people. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, they're bringing her into Florida and Texas. They're going to love her in Florida and Texas. And there's not much you can do about it.
That's why I keep trying to cancel Vic Mignogna from events, because when he shows up to events, the lines are out the door to go see him. And the thing, and they're like, well, it's because the bigots want to see him. It's like, they still have not provided any evidence that concrete evidence, receipts that he did the things they said, other than these people said. Meanwhile, you had the Damon Mills thing, which they recanted, and there's some weirdness around the recant on that.
There's some weirdness around the recant, yeah.
And even he should have been fired on the spot, like everybody else, without waiting for evidence,
victims,
right? And he even said believe all victims.
Yeah.
And he didn't, and now he's gonna still get the conventions, and no one's gonna be like, well, he needs to be removed, even though there's some weirdness there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem, is that it shows that when you actually put these people in a real setting and you let the market or the fans decide things, when they have lines like this for Vic Mignogna.
I love the big stitch.
Is that?
I think it's a big stitch.
Oh, it is a big stitch. I thought it was Sonic.
I love it. It's a big stitch.
Oh my
That's
God.
so glorious.
So, true story. We're going to do it because we always do these little side stories here. But true story, Squid King, when he was little, loved Stitch so much. And he loved going as Stitch for Halloween that we actually had to buy him 2 different Stitch costumes.
It was like a year in between he didn't wear it. And then he wanted it again, so 2 different sizes.
The exact same costume. The 6-armed Stitch and the alien costume. He wore it too because he loved Stitch.
He did Care Bears too twice, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah.
Because he loved Care Bears, but he loved
Champ
Stitch.
Bear. He was Champ Bear.
And another story, when we went to Disney for the first time, Pinky Boo was kind of about characters. She wasn't sure about it, but when she saw Lilo and Stitch, she went running for them because she loved Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with this.
No, but I just think it's funny because it memories. But yeah, I mean, look, they bring her into Florida and Texas. She's going to have a line around the freaking block.
I agree. I mean, and just because you don't like her, don't go see her. It's not a big deal. There are lots of people I don't like at conventions, and I just avoid them and just don't go see them because I'm like, well, they're not my cup of tea, but other people like them. So, who am I to tell people they can't go see them? And there's a lot of really, people that are extreme the other way that are really bigoted, like and making comments that are celebrities. I don't like. I think they go too far to the left, too far, because we're more centrists. And I'm just like, whoa, that's what? And I don't go see them.
Yeah, well, even then, I mean, I can tell you, we did the con scene for years. We basically lived off the con scene for years, and I can tell you there are some people that we got along with fine because we weren't talking politics or religion or any of that kind of stuff. Everybody got along fine until 2016, and then everything broke. But I mean, honestly, even though Will Wheaton says some dumb shit, I might even be able to sit down and have a conversation with Will Wheaton about something not related to politics and it'd be okay.
Right.
And
I don't agree with him on politics sometimes.
Right.
I don't know. I can't. I don't think
he's gotten really weird.
I don't think I could have a conversation with him without being like, you're a pompous ass. But I like this comment. Hope she doesn't give everyone COVID. Well, if you're vaccinated and vaccines work, then you're fine.
It should bounce right off of you. You should get a very mild case. Because I gotta break it. I hate to break it to you, but if people get COVID going to a convention, it's not the celebrity's fault because I'm sure there's a lot of people at the conventions who didn't get shots. Thousands and thousands. Yes, in Florida and Texas, I guarantee you, a good portion of the people, unless the venue requires it, will probably be unvaccinated or have, they won't have their booster or whatever. And
it doesn't matter if you have it. People, I think literally every person that I've talked to recently that's had COVID, all were vaccinated.
This is funny. Read the room. The room is that exactly one person protested outside Disney in Florida yesterday. People on Twitter throw tantrums, but in real life, no one cares. And people were pissed that she got fired, including her coworkers, including people who maybe don't agree with her politically, but they didn't think that anything she did warranted being fired and blacklisted.
No more so than the people who did worse or the same,
Right.
and they got to stay. And like I said, if you're pissed about if not having pronouns in your bio makes you anti-trans, there's a shit ton of people at work at Star Wars and Lucasfilm and all that shit who don't have pronouns in their bio. I guess they all need fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this isn't even about the pronouns. This isn't even about the Holocaust comment. This is about they're mad because she's outspoken Republican or conservative.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't know if she's a Republican, a conservative, and they're pissed about it.
Yep.
Heck, we're in the middle and we lean left, but because we aren't like flat out like far left, we're considered. We get called alt-right all the damn time. We also get called, liberals, libtards, and snowflakes too.
Yeah, there's
same day sometimes.
We covered the Florida bill. I'll be honest, we had a lot of people in the comments that were jumping us on that because we wouldn't get into the nitty-gritty of the bill and give our opinions on it. It's like we're not a legal channel.
But beyond that, we're not in Florida.
We're not in Florida. It doesn't, we're talking about the situation as it relates to Disney.
Right. I don't think we have, I'm not going to say anything about the bill that doesn't affect me in any way because it's not my place. If I lived in Florida and I had a dog in the fight, we're just talking about it in relation to how they're reacting to Disney and how there seems to be double standards here.
Yeah.
But,
that's not good enough. So, you've always got people that, depending on the day of the week, you're either their best friend or their worst enemy. People, for whatever reason, people are not allowed to have their own opinions anymore. You have to have the group opinion.
Right, but they complain about that. It's a whole echo chamber on Twitter, the far left, and then you have these people that lean the other way that are mad we don't agree with them on something, and I'm like, but that's the same thing, the same coin, different side.
Anyway, she should be allowed to be there.
Yes.
Kevin Smith should be allowed to be there.
Yeah.
I'm not calling for his
No,
cancellation.
never. I think he's a dillweed, but
I just won't. Well, you know what?
He could have sat down and talked to us, and we would have talked to him at any time.
I will tell you the truth. If there were an event and Kevin Smith were there, I would actually go introduce myself.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
He would shit himself. You probably would, though.
No, you know me. You know I would.
Yeah, let me tell you a funny story. He totally would, because...
Maybe I should go to MegaCon.
There was an event we were at, and we had a trouble with, and I'm going to say what it was. It was HiveWorks.
It was HiveWorks.
And it was JoJo at HiveWorks. And JoJo at HiveWorks had a hate boner for us.
I don't even understand
hard.
what. Well, we told JoJo no.
We told JoJo no initially.
We didn't join HiveWorks.
And then after that, it was like, dude went out of his way. Or is it a woman? No, I don't even know.
I don't know.
Out of their way. We'll say their way. To try to cause us issues. Apparently, there were whole meetings dedicated to us being an issue. We heard from several people who were at HiveWorks about the meetings. And we were at an event, and two of his people that worked on a comic together were on a panel with us. He had a couple people on the panel with us. And afterwards, Neon went back to the table, and his partner had gone off to do something else, and he was sitting there having a conversation about Kickstarter, and they were getting along fine because, we actually are really nice, And it was hilarious because they kept saying that they were coming to this convention, and they come with somebody else, and they walk
with somebody else.
It was one of their other creators.
Yeah,
and they walk right.
It was very nice, by the way.
Yes,
I can't remember her name.
She was very nice.
She had a book deal with Scholastic. She was very nice.
Very nice. They went up to the table, and Neon was sitting there with this other person, and his badge was turned backwards.
Yes.
And I keep saying he because I don't know what they are now.
I think
they. We'll say they.
Yes. Yeah.
They came up to the table and are like, well, you're not so-and-so. Hi, and then said the name. And you are? And Neon stands up, and Neon's way taller. So because he's very tall. He stands up. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And turns his badge around and says, hi, I'm Neon from Shadowbinders. And ghost white. Person with ghost white. About shat themselves right there. And then they suddenly had to go. So yes, he totally would do it.
I absolutely would. I would actually wait in line to go see Kevin Smith. But
then you might get removed from the convention. Like,
I wouldn't harass him. I would just be like, what's up? Here, you want to sign my Tila action figure? My side shave Tila action figure?
He'd get you removed or something, probably.
I wouldn't do anything mean to him. I'd just be like, wouldn't it be funny to have a side shave Tila action figure signed by Kevin Smith sitting in my office?
It would be funny.
After all the shit.
Like I said, people are going, they can say we said hi, but don't go harassing Kevin
Please,
Smith.
yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, because, do not harass. And that's anybody.
He said the media and people harass us, but
Yeah, we've gotten freaking death threats over this shit. But do not harass anybody on we're we're able to handle it.
He could apologize at any time and didn't. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this.
Anyway.
We've already taken side tangents.
The point is...
He has a right to be there. We're never going to say he shouldn't be and try to campaign to get him removed.
Exactly. You just state you don't like people at conventions. It's a small industry. This whole pop culture thing, stay away from them. Stay away from them.
You know, or don't go to if you don't want to go to the event, don't go to the event. It's not that hard. I mean, if you're going to boycott the entire event, then why aren't you boycotting Disney and everything else that you complain about?
If you're so afraid of COVID, I hate to break it to you, Disney's dropping all the mandates and shit too. You better not go to the theme parks.
You better not, I mean,
better not go to restaurants.
Most states have dropped them.
New York, the restaurants, they dropped all the mandates and stuff.
So I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, just knock the shit off. Hopefully the promoter realizes that this is a tempest in a teapot.
Yeah, go tell them that they're doing a great job bringing her in.
And you know, if you stick to your guns, sometimes you can be rewarded financially for it. Yeah. So just saying. Gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.